A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
CBS Radio brings you The Couple Next Door, written by Peg Lynch and starring Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce.
Betsy, will you run upstairs and get the stool from Mommy's dressing table? I'll sit on that.
Well, at least two people can sit on the piano bench, dear. Why don't I sit on that with Betsy?
No, I'm putting the children at a card table in the hall, Aunt Effie. It makes it much easier.
Yes, sir.
Oh, good morning, dear.
Good morning. Hey, what are you and Aunt Effie doing up so early?
I had to stuff the turkey, and Aunt Effie had to make the pumpkin pie.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you'll please eat your breakfast so we can get the breakfast dishes done, get the kitchen cleaned up. Before you do that, though, would you get the extra table leaves out of the closet, honey, so we can get the table set?
Yeah, sure, but golly, our families are not due here until noon.
Well, we want to get it done. We want to get it done, dear, and get the chairs put around, you know.
Mommy?
Silver on. Yes, dear?
When are we going to have the presents?
What's
so funny?
Nothing, dear, just that you're so anxious. Well, Aunt Effie and Daddy and I are just as anxious as you are to give out the presents we brought back from Europe.
And we'll give them out before dinner.
Yes.
Are we going to wrap them up with pretty paper and ribbons?
No, I should say we are. We'll all do that when we get the table set,
Look, you'd better make sure that we got something for everybody.
Oh,
yes,
yes,
sure
yes.
we
Well,
have.
we'll
We
check
did.
that, dear. I'm
we
sure
did,
we do.
you know.
You get out the movie projector and make sure that works. I want to see our pictures.
Oh, yeah,
I hope.
hey, I got to splice all that film together, too.
Well, this time. You eat your breakfast.
This is Galen Drake. Say, would you like to know a modern, fast way to get temporary relief from minor rheumatic and arthritic pain? Well, just use new Minute Rub. You see, Minute Rub is greaseless, it won't stain, it smells good, it feels cool, and it works fast. And Minute Rub works fast without burning your skin. Now, as I told you, it's greaseless. Not like some of those old-fashioned, smelly, greasy things that used to rub off on your clothing and bed linens. New Minute Rub is the modern, greaseless rub to help relieve minor rheumatic and arthritic pain. By the way, it's great for cold miseries and minor aches, too. New Minute Rub. Try it out, will you?
Now, I've got the table all set.
Good.
Don't you think we ought to put the turkey in the oven? What time do you plan to eat?
Well, I don't know, Zach. I didn't plan to eat much before 2.
Oh,
2? 2 o'clock? Isn't that kind of late?
I don't think so, dear. Everyone said they planned to arrive about noon. Well, you know your sister. She's always late. We'll be lucky if Dorothy and Harry and Buddy arrive by 2.
Yes, I should say.
And you said we could give out the presents before dinner.
Yes, dear. We will.
Well, now, why don't we plan to eat at 3 then?
3? Oh, no, everybody will be starved. They've all got quite a ways to come, don't forget. They'll be hungry when they get here.
I hope so.
Well, we could give them some coffee, maybe, and some little sandwiches just to tide them over until we eat. I mean, while we're opening the presents we have for them, you know.
Oh, yes, that's a good idea.
I think 3 is too late to have dinner.
If we eat too early, then we have to give them supper before they leave, and I certainly don't feel like getting 2 meals for a crowd like that. Going to be 18 of us. Oh, the table looks lovely, Aunt Effie. That's a nice centerpiece.
Well, Betsy helped me.
Oh.
I went outside and got some pretty autumn leaves.
Well, it looks just lovely.
I think 3 is too late to have dinner. You know my mother, look, she won't want to start home late, and she hates to drive at night. So...
We can't show the movie film until it gets fairly dark anyhow.
Well, the turkey takes about 20 minutes to the pound, so we'll have to figure on that.
Yeah. Oh, listen, dear. I wish you would please sharpen the carving knife now. Not wait until everybody's seated and the turkey's on the table getting cold.
Yeah, okay. Always forget that.
Well, that isn't what gets the food cold. It's your Grandpa Piper saying grace, as he always insists on doing and goes on forever.
Yes, I know. You better say grace today, dear, if you
Me?
will.
Oh, no. His feelings would be hurt.
Why can't I say grace? We learned a nice one in Sunday school.
That's a very good idea, dear. Wonderful. Today Betsy can say it. Grandpa can hardly object to her saying grace.
No. I don't know why it is, but your Grandpa Piper always picks Thanksgiving when everybody's sitting at the table starving to practically give a sermon. Goodness, I'll never forget one time. You were a little boy, and it was quite a family reunion, and he just went on and on for about 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. Finally, your great Aunt Bertha, she was 92 at the time, opened her eyes and said, Clarence, God also helps those who help themselves, and the food's getting cold. Then she reached over and helped herself to potatoes.
That's funny.
I don't remember her at all.
Oh, it's too bad you don't. She was quite a person. She took up horseback riding when she was 88.
No,
really? Yes,
That's funny, my
Well,
heavens.
now what have you decided to do about the turkey?
Well, I suppose we ought to put it in. It's 22 pounds and at 20 minutes to the pound.
Well, it'll take at least 4, 5, 6 hours.
Yeah, for Pete's sake, at 20 minutes to the pound, that'd be 7 hours for a 21-pound turkey.
Yes, but the larger the bird, the less the time you need to cook it.
Well, we better put it in now.
Oh,
then it'll be done by 2 anyhow, if we decide to eat then and if Dorothy isn't late. Or if we eat later, we can keep it in the warming oven while we make the gravy and mash the potatoes and all that.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll go and put it on then.
Did you get the film sliced, dear?
No, I was just starting. I got the splicer out.
Oh.
Where is the turkey?
Oh, I'm sorry, Aunt Effie. It's not in the refrigerator. I couldn't get it in. After I stuffed it this morning, I put it out on the screen porch to stay cold.
Oh, all right, dear. I get it.
Oh, I just love Thanksgiving with the families coming, don't you, dear?
Oh,
It's
sure.
such fun.
It makes a lot of work for you.
Oh, well, it's worth it. And this will be an especially nice one because we really can tell all about our trip to Europe and know that we're telling it to people who really want to hear, huh?
Yeah, sure.
There's no turkey out here.
Oh, I set it on the porch chair.
Oh,
Aunt
get
Effie.
away, get
What
away,
is the matter?
Brownie, get
Good
away.
heavens, what is it? Aunt Effie!
It's
What's the
Brownie.
matter?
It's a turkey. He's eating it.
Oh, Brownie! Hey, Brownie, drop that! Drop it!
Brownie!
Come here, Brownie! Open it, Brownie!
Oh,
Come
good
here.
heavens.
Well, there's no sense
Oh,
chasing him. The
Brownie?
damage is done. Oh,
Come on back, dear. You'll never catch him anyhow.
It's all right, Daddy. He dropped the turkey. We got it.
Yeah, we've got it, but what have we got?
He didn't eat it all up, Mommy.
Oh, that's not the point, Betsy, dear. I don't think he ate too much of it at all, but he certainly chewed the whole thing.
Can't we just rinse it off?
No.
No, dear, we can't just rinse it off. Look at this thing.
How did he get that thing?
I suppose he was on the porch and dragged it off the chair and out the door and down the steps.
Well, who left the porch door open?
I don't know.
Nobody's even been out this way. You went off to the store.
Well, I went out through the back door and came in through the garage.
Betsy, you did. You went outdoors to get leaves for the centerpiece, didn't
I
you?
went out the front door, Daddy.
Well, it doesn't matter who left the screen door open. That's hardly the point now. There's going to be 18 people for dinner and no turkey.
How much damage did he do?
He didn't eat much, but he's chewed on it all over. We can't eat it, that's all.
no.
We can't,
Oh,
we
this
can't
is great.
serve that.
This is just great.
What are we going to do?
Take everybody out to dinner, I guess.
18 of us. Do you realize how much that would cost?
What choice do we have?
You have 2 large roast beefs in the freezer. Now, let's get those out.
I can't get 2 roast beefs in my oven, Aunt Effie.
Roast beef? Gee, it isn't Thanksgiving without turkey.
Wait a minute. Where did you get this one?
Patterson's Farm. Shall I call and see if they have any left?
No, look, I'll drive right out there. Sometimes when you explain an emergency in person, people are more likely to help you.
Yes, that's
Now,
true.
look, what do I do with the car keys?
I don't know.
Gee, if we don't have a turkey, we won't have much to be thankful for this Thanksgiving.
Why, Betsy, of course we do. What a thing to say. While we're waiting for Daddy, we'll make a list of the things we have to be thankful for.
Yes, my goodness, Betsy. I guess your mommy and I better teach you the real meaning of Thanksgiving.
Everybody knows, certainly you listening now do, the convenience and pleasure in listening to CBS Radio's winning 7 daytime serials. Millions of homes are beamed in on Our Couple Next Door as they celebrate Thanksgiving their own light-hearted way. Today being Thanksgiving, most listeners are keeping us company in their homes as they make their own holiday observances. CBS Radio's winning 7 daytime serials, the only listening of its kind on the air today, is welcome listening during housework and for accompaniment to many other occupations and preoccupation as well. Ma Perkins, the second Mrs. Burton, young Dr. Malone, Whispering Streets, Helen Trent, Right to Happiness, and our own couple next door keep America continuously engrossed in their day-to-day adventures in living. They'll keep right on doing it as long as so many of you continue to enjoy the different sound of CBS Radio.
Here it is, I got it. Got the last turkey they had. Boy, it's a 28-pounder, but I guess that's why it was left. Anyhow, we have a turkey.
We have news for you.
The folks aren't coming.
Folks aren't coming.
Apparently the weather is terrible there. It started snowing last night, and they've all been debating whether to come or not all morning.
Oh.
Finally, it's turned to sleet. The roads are dangerous, so your sister called your mother, said they didn't want to start out. Then your mother called my mother. Well, anyhow, they're not coming.
I think we're getting it, too. Look at the sky getting dark.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Here we are, then, with a 28-pound turkey for us.
Well, you better freeze it. Otherwise, we'll have turkey for 2 weeks.
I tried to call you out at Patterson's farm, but the line just kept being busy all the time.
Well, put it in the freezer. Look, I'll take you all out to dinner, then Betsy can have turkey anyhow. Oh, Kelly, what a day.
Has it been
Oh, while I put the turkey in the freezer, reading Betsy's list of what she has to be thankful for.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I don't think it's so funny. Here, wait, look at this. I'm thankful I'm old enough to be a Brownie Girl Scout. I'm thankful I can blow a bigger bubble than Susie with my bubble gum.
Oh, no.
I don't think it's so funny. It goes on like that. Read it. Not a word about being thankful for her mommy or daddy or a nice house to live in, or even that she had a wonderful trip to Europe. Nothing, not a word about. Here. She's thankful she's got her 2 big front teeth now so she can spit through them like Johnny Elwyn does.
By God, she can, really? That's wonderful.
Oh, really?
Well, look, I never could. Honey, you always expect too much of her. Look, she's 8 years old, for heaven's sake. This is her world.
I told her to make a list of things that were really important to her. She doesn't even mention us.
Look, honey, now that I have children, I'm only just beginning to appreciate my own parents and what they had to put up with me.
Oh,
When you were 8 years old, what was the most important thing to you now?
my bicycle.
Yeah, all right. Then stop worrying, will you, and get ready, all of you. We're going out to dinner.
Now, another thing to be thankful for, no dishes.
Yes.
Good things begin to happen whenever you have good hot Campbell soup.
Your man needs a lift after a busy day. Start your dinner with Campbell's Chicken Noodle Soup. Good hot soup makes good things begin to happen. It perks up the appetite. You'll love those tender pieces of chicken, good old-fashioned egg noodles, and delicious golden broth. It's nourishing good. Be sure you have your soup today. Campbell's Golden Chicken Noodle Soup. The Couple Next Door is written by Peg Lynch and stars Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce with Margaret Hamilton and Francie Myers and is produced by Walter Hart.
From the heart of the jungle comes a savage cry of victory. This is Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle. From the black core of dark Africa, land of enchantment, mystery, and violence, comes one of the most colorful figures of all time, transcribed from the immortal pen of Edgar Rice Burroughs. Tarzan, the bronzed white son of the jungle. And now, in the very words of Mr. Burroughs, the story of African Thanksgiving.
It was late fall, and the heat hung like a stifling blanket over the jungle where it bordered the native city of El Reyden. Even the recently cut branches that covered the pitfalls were dry and lifeless. There were many of these traps designed to protect the city against marauding beasts. A huge lion lay on the bottom of one of the pits, gasping for breath in the arid heat of noon. For a moment, the lion seemed confused as the slender figure of a white girl came hurtling down into the pit. Then he crouched low, snarling. He was about to spring when a bronze savage leaped into the pitfall and came slowly toward him, a gleaming shaft of steel in his powerful hands.
Grasp that root over there and scramble up the side.
Merci, monsieur.
Start back to the city. Hurry.
I will do as you say, monsieur. I should not have run away in the first place. I stand no chance of escaping.
Well, now, I better scramble out of here myself. Yeah. The girl's out of sight already. She really must have run as fast as she... I wonder what she meant by standing no chance of escaping. I think I'll go back to the public inn at El Reyden and find out.
Usually the inn at El Reyden was either completely deserted or almost so. But now the walled courtyard was crowded. A dozen Arab horses were tethered there. A cortege of slaves stood about, and an enormous Senegalese guard stood sentry at the inn's entrance. His fierce eyes gleamed from beneath a scarlet fez, and he raised a huge broadsword as Tarzan attempted to enter.
Not go past this door.
The sign proclaims this to be a public inn, and I desire to enter. I'm looking for a girl who just ran from the jungle.
Is no girl here. Inn is closed to others during stay of Sheikh Hassanin Mohammed Hazara, my master. Room for no one else.
I believe the girl is here, and I intend to talk to the owner of the inn.
What is the cause for the disturbance, Mookie?
Jungle man say he talk to you. I tell him.
It is Tarzan. May I be of service, Jungle Lord?
I seek a young French girl.
French girl? There is no French girl here.
Well, I should like to meet Sheikh Hazara and see what he has to say about her presence. Perhaps you have been paid for your silence.
I will confer with him, but you shall have to remain here, and I must lock the door against the possibility of your intrusion.
You are both fools. Had you invited this Tarzan to enter, I could have easily explained away the matter of the girl. But now you increased his curiosity. You make matters most difficult.
We only did what you ordered. You said no one else was to be admitted.
Unless I satisfy the curiosity of this jungle man, he may bring the police here. I cannot afford questions until I have reached my own land with the lovely French mamselle.
If there's nothing further you wish of me.
But there is, innkeeper. I desire you to prepare the most lavish meal of which you are capable, and to bring forth the best wines your cellars afford.
But, of course, mighty Sheik. I hasten to carry
Just a moment.
Yes, mighty Sheik.
Give me the key to the front door.
Of course. Here. I hasten to do your bidding.
What you do, master?
I shall throw the door open wide for the lord of the jungle. I shall invite him inside, and I shall honor him with food and drink. And whereas you two stumbling fools have only piqued his curiosity, I shall lay it to rest. No man shall deprive me of the beauty of the French girl. She shall be mine for all time.
You want Mookie call guards? Watch Tarzan if he try make move against mighty Sheik.
I am more concerned with the actions of the girl. Go upstairs and tie her up, both her slender wrists and her tiny feet. Also place a gag in her mouth, and leave the whip where I can reach it easily should it be necessary to prove to her once again that I am the master.
I do as you say.
Good. With a gag in her mouth, she cannot cry out. And I am quite confident that I can outwit this jungle man.
We'll return to our story of Tarzan in just a moment. The last time Tarzan had been to the inn, it had been a crude affair. But for Sheikh Hazara's visit, it had been hung with silken drapes and lavish brocades. Indeed, it seemed like an oriental palace, and the innkeeper and his assistants were scurrying about, preparing a lavish meal for the desert potentate and his most honored guest.
But I insist you remain with me. It is not pleasant to dine alone.
I shall accept with thanks. I desire to discuss one of the members of your entourage.
But who among my followers has deserved the notice of such a noble one as you?
The young French girl who ran into the jungle and then returned here. And I warn you not to deny her presence.
Why should I deny it?
The Senegalese guard and the innkeeper pretended I had imagined her. I thought they acted on your orders.
They were but exercising caution. You see, Tarzan, we have not as yet been united by the vows of marriage, nor can we be until we have reached my land. Here, the government frowns on a man having more than one wife.
And this girl is returning to your land voluntarily?
Before you take your departure, you may hear with your own ears the girl's admission that she goes with me voluntarily. Turn just a little this way, my dear, and I shall cut the last of the thongs that hold your tiny feet. Ah, yes, the gag. I shall remove it immediately. I am afraid Moki misunderstood my orders. I did not wish you bothered again. I have given up hope of taming you, Renee. There you are, my insolent beauty.
What trick are you planning now?
I am through with tricks. This afternoon you ran away and were almost killed. I shall not continue to press my suit. If you would rather face a jungle lion than me, you must detest me greatly indeed.
It is not that I detest you. At least I did not at first, but I came to Africa to meet the man I love. And I have no intention of becoming a member of your harem.
I have abandoned all hope of taking you home with me.
What do you mean?
A jungle potentate said he'd seen you in the jungle this afternoon when you ran away.
You're the creature who killed the lion with a knife and then let out a scream like that of an insane man?
The same. He desires you as one of his wives, and I have decided to let him take you.
Oh, no.
Perhaps you may enjoy the life in the jungle more than you would the life among my people. There you will be dressed in crude skins. You will live in a filthy hut. Beasts will be on your very doorstep. Your companions will be the foul-smelling savages with rings through their noses. And if you do anything that displeases them, you will be torn limb from limb and devoured by these followers of Tarzan.
Oh, no. No, please, Ezra. Take me back to Algiers. The one I love was to meet me there. He will be worried sick by now.
I have decided to return you to Algiers. But now that this jungle lord has taken a fancy to you, I may find it difficult.
I will not go with him. You've got to save me from him, Ezra.
He demands to see you before he leaves. But perhaps we can resist his demands.
Hazara, why is your slave dragging the girl in?
She is shy, except before me. Bring her over here, Moki.
Yes, master.
Musicians, cease your playing. We have an important jungle potentate who would put questions to this fair young damsel.
Why do you shrink from me, girl?
I saw how you acted this afternoon. Are you killed with your bare hands? Am I to admire such a savage?
But I killed only so that you would not be injured.
You are like the rest. You protected me only so that you could let
I protected you because your life was in danger.
And that wild scream, what did that mean?
It was the victory cry of the bull ape. I learned it from...
The bull ape? Oh, save me from him, Ezra.
You do not require saving from me. I came here only because I thought the sheik held you against your will. I heard you say something about standing no chance to escape.
You misunderstood me. I said no such thing.
Well, I was sure I heard you say those words. I intended wresting you from Sheikh Azara and taking you away to wherever you wanted.
You will not take me. I will not go with you. You are a jungle savage, and I would rather be dead than
That is enough, Renee. Are you convinced, Jungle Lord?
Yes. I apologize, Azara. I shall be on my way now. Thank you for your hospitality.
Not at all. We shall sojourn here for a few days before we ride on to the desert. Feel free to visit me at any time.
I shall not come back this way. I'm returning to the heart of my jungle. Goodbye.
I shall show you to the door, Tarzan.
Thank you, innkeeper. I'm sorry I insisted on entering your inn, but I was under the...
Musicians, resume the music of my land. Muki.
Yes, master.
Fetch my hookah. I desire the sweet incense of my pipe after this trying ordeal. I would have peace and rest before our journey of the morrow.
You are taking me back to Algiers so that I can meet him?
Algiers. I should journey all the way back to Algiers so that I may give you to another? No, my dear Renee. I am taking you to the desert so that you can become my bride.
But you said that...
I said just enough so that you will respond to Tarzan as I had hoped. You will continue to speak and act as I desire. And if my words do not convince you, be reminded of my other methods by the sound of my whip.
It was cold and penetrating that night as Tarzan made his way deep into the jungle. But the morning was hot again, and the unseasonable dryness had scorched the earth and destroyed the plants and the small game. Even the carrion birds were hungry, and as Tarzan made his way through the upper level, he could see a flock of them circling vainly over the jungle wilds. Then, suddenly, the ugly vultures who ordinarily fed on decayed flesh plunged downward. They had sighted a prey, and the scent of man, not yet dead, assailed Tarzan's nostrils. He streaked through the treetops, and a moment later he could see the hideous giant-like birds clawing and pecking at an exhausted white man. Tarzan leaped down, and his knife described great arcs as he stabbed furiously at the monstrous scavengers of the jungle.
It's no use. It's no use anyway.
What's no use?
Trying to make way through the jungle. I'll never find her anyway.
You're searching for someone?
I was searching. Not anymore. I'm finished. I'll never find Renee.
Renee? I've seen a girl by that name. Of course, there are many French girls whose names are Renee.
Oh, no, you don't. I've been taken in too many times as it is. Last one who claimed he'd seen her brought me into the jungle. He took the fee I'd promised him, and then he deserted me.
I see.
And the woman back at the hotel in Algiers. All she was interested in was money, too. Well, I don't know what your angle is, but you can beat it. If I'm going to die in this thinking jungle, I'll die. I've been taken for the last time.
Well, perhaps the vultures who escaped my knife shall not be cheated out of their meal after all.
In just a moment, the exciting conclusion of African Thanksgiving.
Well, at least the rain has come, Bill. You won't have to die in the blistering heat.
Back home at this time of year, everything's golden, red, and brown. Kids are cutting out jack-o'-lanterns, and women are roasting turkeys, baking pumpkin pies. There's a holiday we call Thanksgiving, Tarzan. I was going to take Renee back to America for Thanksgiving.
Perhaps you might like to talk about Renee before you die.
Yeah, I met her in Paris. I was an exchange student there, engineering. We fell in love, and I wanted to marry her, but I didn't have enough money to satisfy her parents. Oh, no, the way they figured it, she was going to marry a millionaire. Some oriental potentate had seen her at the store where she worked, offered them a fortune for her.
And they sold their own daughter?
No, they didn't do that, but it convinced them more than ever that Renee would make a brilliant match. Maybe they should have sold her to that Sheikh Hazara. She'd have been better off.
Sheikh Hazara?
When I graduated, I went back home. And 6 months ago, I had a chance to come to Africa on a job. And I'd be a little closer to Renee, so I took it. We corresponded regularly, and she wrote she was running away from home, that she'd meet me in Algiers.
What happened?
My job was almost finished, but I couldn't leave until all the loose ends were tied up. I was a couple of days late in reaching Algiers, but the woman who ran the little hotel there where Renee was to go had promised to take care of her.
And she didn't?
I finally got the truth out of her, or part of it anyway. She'd made up some far-fetched story about having received a message from me, and she convinced Renee that I wanted her to meet me in the interior.
Well, why did you do that?
Someone had paid her to do it. I couldn't force her to tell me who it was, but she admitted Renee had hired some Arab guides to lead her to me in the jungle. It's the last that was ever seen of her. I've been searching for her ever since.
Bill, ever since we've met, you've doubted my intentions, even though I saved your life. I also saved Renee's life, and she treated me as though I were a leper. But regardless of whether you want my help or not, you're going to get it. If it's within my power, the two of you will have a reason for Thanksgiving. That's the inn just ahead.
Yeah. It's obviously deserted. Said there was a huge caravan stopping there.
Sheikh Hazara said they would remain here for several days, but they could have changed their plan, I suppose.
The whole story's fantastic. A remote inn transformed into a potentate's palace.
I didn't say exactly that. I said that the interior had been decorated with rich fabrics and costly ornaments. It must have taken weeks of preparation to make the place ready for the coming of this desert ruler. Innkeeper! Innkeeper!
There's no one here.
There is someone here. I can catch the scent of man.
Yes?
It is Tarzan, innkeeper.
Tarzan? I know no one by that name.
But I was here last night.
You must have mistaken my poor inn for another. No one has been here for years, and I have never before laid eyes on you.
So you were leading me on with a story that was nothing but lies.
Come inside with me, Bill. Get out of the way, innkeeper.
What? Rich fabrics and costly ornaments. Place is dusty and unkept.
Innkeeper, what happened to the trappings that hung here last night?
Trappings? I believe you have lost your reason, jungle man.
Where is Sheikh Hassanin Hazara and his followers? And where is the French girl?
You speak in the most amazing riddles. I know of no sheik or of any French girl. Certainly you must have confused my inn...
I apologize, Tarzan. She was here.
What?
Yes, innkeeper. You may have sprinkled dust around and you may have erased all the other signs of your recent visitors, but I found this in the corner over there.
A shoe?
One of Renee's shoes. Our friend here must have overlooked it. I know it's hers. It's of French make and it's her size. She has tiny feet. Not another girl in 1,000 could get this shoe on.
Now deny my story, innkeeper.
I only lied in order to save the young man greater sorrow.
What do you mean?
Just after you left, Tarzan, the girl grasped a flagon of poison and drank deep.
No.
She was buried early this morning in the graveyard at the edge of the city.
Oh, that cough's getting worse, Bill. You should have found shelter.
Not until I visited her grave.
A damp graveyard is certainly a poor place for a man with a cough. It's certainly a desolate place at night.
It's all my fault. If she'd never left France, she wouldn't be lying in this miserable cemetery. If I'd written to her to wait until...
There's someone over there. You!
Yes, Effendi?
Why are you digging in the rain and at night?
When someone dies at this time of the year, the sepulchre must be completed before the rains come too heavy. I was packing the earth firmly about this grave that was filled but this morning.
Renee's grave.
I know not the occupant of this final resting place, save that she was a young French girl who traveled in an Arab's caravan. The caravan has left.
But not before you were well paid to heap heavy rocks on the grave and pour cement between the cracks.
He told you he was just trying to make sure the rains wouldn't...
Hold on to him, Bill. He may regain consciousness soon. I didn't hit him hard.
Well, why did you hit him at all?
Because he isn't a grave digger any more than you are. He's one of Hazara's men, and he was attempting to make sure no one would ever open that grave.
What are you doing?
I'm digging up the coffin. And I'm reasonably certain we'll find it empty.
Well, Renee may be alive, but I think we've lost their trail now.
No, Bill, we haven't. The signs are even clearer now that we're beyond the rain belt.
I haven't seen any signs, even the ones you tried to point out to me.
Well, they covered their trail fairly well. Hazara hoped the story of Renee's death would discourage us, but he wasn't depending on it completely. Are you sure you don't want me to hunt for some small game, Bill?
Oh, I couldn't eat.
How do you feel?
Better than I thought I would, after sleeping in that wet treetop. And frankly, I'm sick of Africa. If only I could find Renee, I'd take her to America so fast she wouldn't even have time to catch her breath. I don't think we'd ever leave the good old USA again.
But first to find her.
Yeah. It looks so hopeless. How can we hope to catch them when they're on horseback?
Well, they, too, are traveling by foot now. Their horses were lame by the time they reached the last pass. You could tell by the uneven depth of the hoof marks.
You could tell. I couldn't tell a thing. All I know is that if I ever come face to face with Hazara...
You will be face to face with him, and soon. And, Bill, you must not show your hatred. You must act as I advised. You must pray that Renee is smart enough to catch on. If she makes one sign of recognition, it will mean the end for both of you.
Looks like quite a celebration.
Well, these native cities are always holding pageants and parades and dances. They're meant to please their gods. I only hope their chief will agree to our part in the ceremony.
I guess you know what you're doing. But I'd like to go right to Hazara's camp and just...
Oh, do you know why Hazara made camp on the edge of the city?
No.
Because his horses can no longer carry their burden. If he's to reach his own land, he must have camels. And the natives won't be willing to sell them for any price until their celebration is over.
Yeah, but in the meantime...
In the meantime, I'm going to have a talk with their chief, and you're going to dye your skin black and dress as a native witch doctor. Then you're going to make a call on Sheikh Hazara.
Renee, I must speak to some local witch doctor who has just arrived. You had best retire into the quarters of the women.
All right. I will go. Only I do not see what...
Greetings, Sheik of Great Desert.
My humble greetings to you. Renee, I told you to go.
No. Woman is to stay. You in my city. So I give orders.
As you say, witch doctor. Why have you come?
Today is great celebration in our village.
Yes, I know that. Your chief told me that
we not sell you camels until parade through city over.
Yes, that was his decision.
But now, new decision made. Since you and your camp are within limits of city, your party must join in parade to gods.
I shall be most happy to.
This woman, she is great beauty. She please our gods. She ride camel at my side. I have spoken.
Renee, it is best to humor these native leaders. You'll have to do what he says.
All right, Hazara. I am ready to come with you, witch doctor.
Good. Camels tethered before entrance of Beit. Come with me. Goodbye, Sheikh Hazara.
All right, Bill, Renee. We're far enough from the Sheik and his men now.
Oh there, oh.
Hey, I'm almost able to manage a camel now.
Oh, you were wonderful, witch doctor Bill.
It was a fine performance. Well, it's time to remove your makeup now. We'll leave these camels here and take to the jungle. I guarantee that the Sheik will not be able to follow our trail. It'll be 3 or 4 days until the natives sell him camels, and by that time, you'll be on your way to America.
America?
Gee, I wonder what my friends back home would have said if they could have seen me dressed like that native witch doctor and riding at the head of that fantastic parade.
Oh, the parade was part of a week's feasting to honor the gods of the fields. Grain is thrown upon the ground in the belief that some of the earth's yield must be returned to it, or otherwise it will become barren. The celebration is held at each harvest time.
Oh, sort of a Thanksgiving ritual, huh? Thanksgiving. Hey, it's Thanksgiving today.
What is this Thanksgiving?
That's a holiday you'll find out about in America, Renee. We'd be too late for the turkey and the pumpkin pie this year. We still have a lot to be thankful for. And number 1 on the list is having met Tarzan.
In just a moment, we'll return with a preview of our next story of Tarzan. During the past 10 years, the price of museum specimens has doubled and trebled. Today, an African elephant is worth $6,000. A giraffe brings $4,000, a hippopotamus $5,000, and a white rhinoceros $15,000. Tarzan attempts to halt the plundering of the jungle by an unscrupulous murderer, and he encounters Hunter's Fury, which is the title of our next story.
Tarzan, a transcribed creation of the famous Edgar Rice Burroughs, is produced by Walter White, Jr., prepared for radio by Bud Lesser, with original music by Albert Glasser. This is a Commodore production.
Truth is stranger than fiction. And this is the truth. This is Ripley's. Believe it or not.
The last bottle of the before Prohibition brew of a famous Milwaukee brewer was prized so highly that being the last of its kind, the manufacturer had it insured for $25,000. Believe it or not. In a moment, I'll tell you a story about Thanksgiving when it was known as a fast day. Until the year 1631, the stern pilgrims celebrated their Thanksgiving Day by rigorously abstaining from food and drink. In that year at Charlestown, the annual Thanksgiving Fast Day on February 5th was changed to a feast day for the first time to celebrate the long-awaited arrival of a ship which landed with provisions from Ireland. It was not until President Lincoln's time that Thanksgiving Day was generally designated for the last Thursday in November. Believe it or not.
Can a stepmother successfully raise another woman's children? Colgate All-Purpose Tooth Powder presents the real-life story of Kay Fairchild, a stepmother who tried. It's a touchy subject when a man tries to tell his wife how to do the household by. Just listen.
Why don't you run the house like I run my business?
And what do you want me to do? Get a secretary and a bookkeeper?
No, but you can buy supplies when the price is most favorable.
Say, if you mean getting bargains, then you're talking to a number one bargain getter. Why, only today I got in on a 1-cent sale deluxe. I bought 60 cents worth of Colgate tooth powder for only 41 cents. Now, can you do better than that in your business?
I guess not. Why, that's 50% more Colgate tooth powder for only 1 penny more.
You're right. See, I paid the regular 40-cent price for this giant can of Colgate tooth powder. And then for just another penny, I got the large can as well.
Well, it's plain this lady needs no help from her friend husband in saving money. And he'll bless her good judgment every time he uses Colgate tooth powder. For this lively, quick cleansing dentifrice reveals the glorious natural radiance of your teeth. And while it cleans teeth, it sweetens your breath and freshens your mouth. What's more, you'll find Colgate tooth powder safe and ever so pleasant for gum massage. Yes, it's an all-purpose tooth powder with benefits for all members of the family. And right now, Colgate tooth powder is smashing all-time records in sales. Because you can buy a large can for only 1 penny when you buy the giant-sized Colgate tooth powder at the regular 40-cent price. But when dealers' limited supplies are gone, this exciting 1-cent sale is over. Wouldn't it be too bad if you missed out? Now, Colgate tooth powder presents Kay Fairchild, Stepmother. David Hausman wants to win Kay Fairchild away from her husband. And he justifies this unorthodox ambition with the claim that he loves her and John doesn't. Peg has made up her mind that she's going to try to advance David's cause. Her reasoning is simple, if perhaps a trifle selfish. She figures that if David married Kay, he would probably be willing to take baby Billy and Bud along. And that will leave Peg free of any financial obligations toward the family. Free to get married, which is still her fondest desire. Well, it's Thanksgiving Day, and the prospects of it being a happy one in the Fairchild home are pretty slim. The fact that John has gone away and nobody in the family knows where he is seems especially dismal on this holiday. Out in the kitchen, Bud, hands in his pockets, leaning against the table, is gloomily watching Mattie baste the turkey. Listen.
You's a mighty fine-looking bird. Getting nice and brown, too. Yeah, I bet your mouth is watering something powerful, ain't it, boy? Uh-huh. A little bit. Looks good. Good? That turkey is scrumptious perfect, and don't you let nobody tell you different. Yeah. Same thing goes double for them pumpkin pies over there on the window. Bet you was wishing you could have a piece of one of them right now.
No, I can wait. I just came out here because I didn't have anything else to do, I guess. I was going over to watch them practice football, but kind of a gloomy day. So
I don't think nothing the matter with this day. Sun's shining.
It wasn't a while ago. Oh, this is a bum Thanksgiving Day. I'd rather be going to school today.
Land of mercy. Now I know there's something wrong with you. Let me feel at your head hard.
Oh, don't, Mattie. There's nothing wrong with me.
You moping about your daddy being away, ain't you?
I don't know. Maybe. Seems awful queer to be getting ready to eat a big Thanksgiving dinner and Dad not home.
Well, now you just quit worrying about it. All we know is he might walk in here just about the time you all ready to sit down to the table.
No, he won't. He won't be home today or tomorrow or... Oh, I don't know what to make of it all. It seems like the whole family's just going to pot. I try not to think about it, but no use. It just keeps running through my head all the time. Wondering where he is, thinking maybe something happened to him. Maybe he's not ever going to come back.
Oh, he'll be coming through that front door most any time now. He'll be coming. You'll see.
But supposing he doesn't come back, what's going to happen to us?
Land of goodness, child, how would I know? Be a mighty terrible thing, I guess.
Surely would. Well, there. You see? You're worried about it, too. And Aunt Kay's worried. I can tell it by the look on her face. Well, it seems like the whole world's coming down around our ears, and we... Oh, what's the use? I'm going up to my room.
And in the living room, Kay and Jen Porter are talking.
Jen, I try not to show it in front of the children, but every now and then I find myself with an unhappy look on my face and biting my lips. The children and I made an agreement, you know, that we'd act just the same around the house as though John were here, that we'd keep the family going just as though he'd never gone away. But it's a terrible strain. Oh, it's not fair of me to be talking like this to you, Jen. I didn't ask you to have dinner with us just so I could hash over my troubles with you.
Now, let's not go over that again. I've hashed over plenty of mine with you on various occasions.
But to see, Jen, this is the only home I've had for years. And if this isn't home, then no place is home. I haven't anywhere else to go, even if I wanted to go anywhere else. Of all the things that people can be grateful for on Thanksgiving Day, I think a home in which everybody's happy is the greatest. But it really isn't even a home with John not here.
Well, now, look. I think you've gone far enough with this case. Next thing you know, you'll have yourself weeping. And tears, I've heard tell, dampen a lady's appetite for turkeys. Come on. Let's go find Billy and... Hey, where is Billy, anyhow?
I kind of think you had ought to go and talk to Bud, maybe. I think he's feeling kind of down in the dumps.
What's that, Mattie?
Well, Bud, he was out there in the kitchen just a few minutes ago, and he was acting kind of awful blue. I kind of tried to cheer him up, but he run off upstairs, and, well, I think he was just about ready to cry.
Oh, dear. Jen, you go out and meet Peg and Billy, and I'd better go upstairs and see Bud.
All right, Kay.
Is dinner almost ready, Mattie?
Ready to serve in about 10 minutes now.
Well, I'll go up and get Bud, and we'll be right down. Bud? Oh, here you are. Why, what's the matter, Bud? Why are you lying here on the bed?
I'm all right, ain't you?
We're going to have dinner in just a few minutes, Bud. Hadn't you better come downstairs?
Yeah, I guess so. You go on down, ain't you? I'll be right along.
Ah, such a nice day. You're going over to the football game this afternoon, aren't you? Yeah, I guess so. Why, of course you are. The big game of the season, and naturally the band will be on. And what did the band do without a drum major? You can smell that roasting turkey even up here.
Uh-huh.
Mind if I sit here on the edge of the bed?
No, I don't mind.
Oh, now look, soldier boy. Why don't you take your head out of that pillow and sit up here beside me? Come on, sit up.
Well,
that's the boy. Bud, remember something we talked about a few days ago? About carrying on just the same as always until your dad comes back home.
Yeah, I remember.
I think we've been doing a pretty good job of it, haven't we? And today's the day when we're going to do the best job of all. This is going to be just the same swell kind of Thanksgiving that we've always had here in this house. Oh, sure, we've had a few little upsets maybe, but we still have hope. All kinds of hope. Yes, and faith, too. Why, there's nothing wrong in this home of ours this Thanksgiving Day that won't be all cleared up in just a little while. So let's be thankful for that, Bud. We have so much, really. Why, so many people have real troubles. Troubles that maybe nothing can cure for, ever so long. But our troubles are just little ones. Oh, we have a fine home, and we have a great big dinner waiting for us downstairs, and you're going to lead the band between the halves of the football game this afternoon, and we're all well, and we have lots of good friends. Oh, gee, it's going to be a wonderful Thanksgiving Day, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess maybe it is. On account of you ain't kids. I guess maybe it is.
But no, but here. It's going to be a swell Thanksgiving Day. Come on, Bud. Let's go down to dinner.
Valiant work, Kay. Feeling pretty blue yourself, but you're never going to let Bud know it. It's good you don't know that just a few blocks across town in Mother Fairchild's apartment, your husband is sitting on a divan close to Carol and Adam and saying,
I believe this is going to turn out to be the most satisfactory Thanksgiving I've ever known.
But look at that turkey your mother's cooking out there in the kitchen. I'm inclined to agree with you.
Oh, it's not the turkey. It's not the fact that Mother is out there cooking the dinner. It's something else.
What's wrong?
I don't know. But I'm feeling terribly frank today, and so I'll confess that being around you gives me a kind of exhilaration that I haven't experienced for quite a long while.
Say, since the days when you first met your wife?
Let's not bring my wife into the discussion.
You weren't nearly so exhilarated a few hours ago, John. When I came, you were very glum. You were wishing you could be home with your family, weren't you?
No, of course I wasn't.
You lie like a gentleman, my good friend. Or at least you're learning. Well, if a man doesn't have his family on Thanksgiving Day, he must take the next best thing. You find me a pretty satisfactory next best thing, John.
Listen, Carolyn,
Don't bother answering, my dear. Let's go out to the dining room. I believe your mother's ready to serve dinner.
Yes, left to his own devices, John probably would have been home for Thanksgiving dinner. But Carolyn Adams is able to make him forget. Carolyn is obviously a very wise person. She knows John perhaps better than he knows himself. But she seems very willing to have him admire her. Is Carolyn going to prove a dangerous obstacle to Kay's attempt to bring John back to his family? Now, here are the facts. Plain facts in plain language. Colgate All-Purpose Tooth Powder is a safe, smooth, rich foaming dentifrice. It loosens dingy film stains on teeth with amazing speed, leaves teeth sparkling bright, radiant with natural luster. Then, Colgate's flavorsome foam freshens your mouth and sweetens your breath. And for final good measure, Colgate Tooth Powder is safe for gum massage. With all these benefits, you will agree that Colgate Tooth Powder, even at its regular price, is one swell value. But listen, Our big 1-cent sale is still on, and you can actually buy a large can of Colgate tooth powder for just 1 cent. Yes, 1 modest penny when you buy the giant can at the regular 40-cent price. That's 50% more tooth powder for only 1 penny more. Why, it's colossal. Well, Peg is lined up in favor of Kay divorcing her father and marrying David Halston. Tomorrow she goes to work to put her ideas into practice. Tune in again tomorrow and every day, Monday through Friday, for Kay Fairchild's Stepmother, brought to you by Colgate All-Purpose Tooth Powder. This is Carlton Cadell speaking. Wouldn't you call yourself lucky to get a gift from Wayne King, America's most popular orchestra leader? This gift is a free 25-cent jar of Cashmere Bouquet Cold Cream for cleansing when you buy 1 jar at the regular 25-cent price. And you also receive free a photograph of Wayne King. Discover for yourself the thrilling result of Cashmere Bouquet Face Cream. See how this light, refreshing cream leaves your skin radiantly clean, soft and smooth to your touch, and scented with Cashmere Bouquet, the fragrance men love. It's a beauty bargain de luxe. Yes, a 25-cent jar of this aristocratic face cream absolutely free when you buy 1 jar at the regular 25-cent price. Why, that's 2 jars for the price of 1. These Wayne King gift packages of Cashmere Bouquet face cream are now at cosmetic counters, and they're going like mad. So get yours today. The Columbia Broadcasting System. The WBBM Air Theater, Wrigley Building, Chicago.
The Harold Perry Show. And now, Harold Perry as Honest Harold, the homemaker. Well, the talk of Melrose Springs this week is the big Thanksgiving play, The Courtship of Miles Standish, which is to be given at the local high school. The director and star of this epic drama is none other than the Orson Welles of Melrose Springs, Honest Harold. Well, right now we find our impresario at home having a costume fitting for his role of John Alden.
Almost through, Mother.
Just a minute, Harold. You know, I think these old blue serge trousers are going to make fine knee breeches.
Oh, I guess so. A little tight, but I'll take it easy when I bow.
Hold still now. I'll just pin these pants up. Put a pin in front.
Yeah?
And a pin in back.
Watch it, Mother.
I just know the play will be wonderful with my son directing it and starring in it.
Thank you, Mother. I also rewrote it a little, too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. My boss, Stanley Peabody, is playing Miles Standish. I cut his part way down.
Harold.
Yeah, and I built up my part of John Alden a little bit. You know, Theodora, the new dancing teacher, is playing Priscilla.
Oh, yes. She's very pretty.
She sure is. I wrote some additional dialogue for my scene with her.
Additional dialogue?
Yeah, I put in a few kisses. Well, better get dressed and get right down to Theodora's Dancing Academy. There's a rehearsal call for our love scene this morning.
There is?
Yeah, I just called it. I'll see you later, Mother. Theodora. Gosh, I'm glad she came into my life. Rehearsing with her is going to be lots of fun. I'll make this one of those real kisses. The kind would cost you $2 in a taxi cab. Yoo-hoo, Theodora.
Oh, hello, Angel Kate.
Hello.
How's little old Curly Lashes today?
Curly Lashes?
It was nice of you to come and see your little Theodora.
Well, of course, this is strictly business, Theodora. I came over to rehearse the play. So let's get down to kissing. Business.
All righty.
Of course, I made a few little changes in our scene. The way I got it now, Priscilla and John Alden are sitting on the sofa.
Sofa?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, clever, clever boy.
I thought so. Well, shall we sit down?
All righty.
And, oh, yes, I made one other little change. John Alden kisses Priscilla.
He kisses her?
Uh-huh.
Harold, isn't that going a little far for a pilgrim?
Well, haven't you ever heard of the Pilgrim's Progress? Yes, sir. We'll start the scene with my speech. Priscilla, I, John Alden, speak not for myself, but for my good friend, Captain Miles Standish.
Why don't you speak for yourself, John?
Me?
You're so handsome.
Well.
The most charming man I've ever seen.
Sounds good. Ooh, I wrote that.
You're so masterful. John.
Here it comes.
Why don't you kiss me?
All right. Pucker up, Priscilla.
Oh, there's someone at the door.
Oh, my goodness.
Come in.
Oh, here you are. Howdy, folks.
Pete, the town marshal.
Hope I ain't interrupting anything.
What do you want, Pete?
Well, I wanted to talk to you, boy.
You two big men go right ahead and talk. I'll be in the reception room.
Yeah. All right, Pete. What is it?
You were getting pretty cozy there, weren't you, boy? Priscilla and John Alden smooching on the sofa. That's a doozy.
Now, Pete, what do you want to see me about?
Well, Harold, I'm having trouble with my part in the play. I keep forgetting all that stuff you told me to do.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Maybe if I put it down in my notebook, I could keep it straight.
Well, all right, but hurry it up.
Let's see now. I come in and I say, I am a trapper lost in the wood. I wonder where I am at.
Don't just stand there, Pete. Look around.
Look around? Yeah, let me write that down.
Go on, Pete.
Oh, my. What is that behind the tree?
That's where you take 4 steps.
After I take 4 steps. Let me write that down.
Hurry up, Pete. Now, that's when you see the bear behind the tree.
The bear?
Yeah, remember, Doc Yancey is a bear.
Doc Yancey is a bear. Let me write that down. Now, what comes next, Harold?
Now, that's where the bear growls. Grrr.
How do you spell grrr?
Come on. Pete, will you get on with the scene?
Oh, my. Here comes the bear.
Grrr.
What'd you say, Harold?
That was me, growling.
Oh. Got stomach trouble, boy?
Pete, you're a dope. Why don't you write that down?
You're a dope. Sure, Harold, I can remember that. I'll see you later.
Theodora.
Yes, Harold, coming.
Sorry we were interrupted. Shall we rehearse the scene now?
All righty. Mm-hmm. John.
Yes, Priscilla.
Why don't you kiss me?
All right. Ye gods, who's that?
Oh, come in.
Oh, hello, Miss Theodora.
Hello, Dr. Yancey.
Hello, Harold.
Hello, Doc. What do you want, you old horse doctor?
Harold, I've been working on my part of the bear all morning, and I've got some wonderful ideas how to play.
Well, Doc, all you have to do is growl.
Oh, I know, but there's different ways to growl, Harold.
What?
Now, this is an angry bear.
Yeah.
Now, don't let it frighten you, Miss Theodora. I'm just acting.
Come on, Doc.
All right, now here goes.
Oh, that was wonderful, Dr. Yankee.
Thank you. I could also make him a friendly bear like this. Then there's the melancholy bear whose mates run away and left him. He's real sad, you know.
No wonder she left it.
And Harold, I had another idea.
What is it?
Well, suppose at the end of the scene, I get up on my hind legs and recite a poem.
A poem?
Yeah. It's a very dramatic poem called The Coward.
Yep.
It goes like this.
Some other time, Doc.
Jake Simpson was a coward, afraid of people half his size. If a gun went off, he'd run a mile. He was even afraid of flies.
Doc!
But cowards sometimes make heroes. When the town was struck by flood, the women deserted their children, and the husbands ran off in the mud.
Doc!
When the others had fled from the flood, from their wives and their little ones slid, did Jake leave his wife and his family? You bet your life he did.
Doc, that's horrible.
It is? Oh, well, all right, Harold. If you don't appreciate art, it's all right with me. Goodbye, Miss Theodora.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Practice some more.
Well, Theodora, let's...
Hello!
Now, who is that? Oh, my goodness, the Firehouse 4.
Well, hello, folks.
Hello, T.
I brought the boys over, Harold. Thought we might run over our number.
Not now, boys.
What are you cute fire laddies going to do in the show?
Well, ma'am, we come out dressed as Indians and sing shortening bread.
But that's not an Indian song.
That's the only one they know. It took them 5 years to learn that.
But, Harold, we fixed the number so we'll sound like Indians.
What?
You ready, fellas?
Mammy's little baby loves shortening, shortening. Mammy's little baby loves shortening bread.
Ugh. 4 Nelson Eddies.
Mammy's little baby loves shortening bread.
Ugh. Indians, I mean
Put
fellas.
on the skillet.
Woo!
Put on the lid.
Woo! Boys!
He's gonna make a little shortening bread.
Ooh, yourself. I'm getting out of here. What a morning. Oog. Oh, well. The show isn't on till tomorrow night. Still a lot of time to rehearse with Theodora. Yeah, and I have to laugh when I think of Stanley Peabody playing Miles Standish. He may be my boss at the radio station, but...
Hemp!
Oh, my goodness, speak of Peabody, and there he is.
Hemp, I want to talk to you.
Well, Stanley. Well, Miles Standish, have you learned your part for the play?
What part?
Huh?
When you first gave me the role, I had 12 pages of dialogue. Now I can put my part on a postage stamp.
And, brother, you stuck with it.
I am unhappy with my part. Do you hear me?
Hear you? You almost blew me across the street, Stanley.
I notice you gave yourself the best role in the play. John Alden.
John Alden? Oh, that isn't much of a part. Miles Standish is really the star.
Star? Huh. For 4 acts, all I do is fight Indians off stage.
Well, you win, don't you?
And you have all the love scenes with the girl.
Love scenes? Well, what do they mean, Stanley? Nothing. Anybody can do that. But Miles Standish is the role of a lifetime. An actor's dream. And because you're my old friend, Stanley, I gave the part to you.
Hemp, I'm touched. You're a real friend. But I can't let you make this sacrifice. We'll change parts, Hemp.
Huh?
I want you to be the star. And remember, you work for me, Hemp. Now, you're Miles Standish, that's an order. And I'll play the part of John Alden with all those silly little love scenes. But I know we'll both be very happy with our new parts. Won't we, Miles?
Speak for yourself, John.
We will return for the second act of our story, Honest Harold, in just a moment. Just a little later this evening on CBS, screen star Paul Douglas will visit Bing Crosby, and the two of them will be reminiscing about the good old days. We hope you'll stay with us and be listening when Paul Douglas comes to call on Crosby later this evening.
I will.
The Bing Crosby Show is heard every Wednesday evening on most of these same CBS stations. And now back to Honest Harold, the homemaker. Well, it is the night before the Thanksgiving play, the courtship of Miles Standish. But Honest Harold hasn't much to be thankful for. He wound up with the part of Miles Standish, and his boss, Stanley Peabody, is going to do all the courting. Well, right now, we find our disappointed lover at home, just finishing dinner before going to dress rehearsal.
Oh, no, Harold. You mustn't feel bad just because you're not going to play John Alden.
Well...
And you look so distinguished in your Miles Standish costume. Oh, I can just see you standing there, stroking your beard.
Yeah, and while I'm stroking my beard, Stanley will be kissing Theodora.
But that's just in the play. They'll only be acting.
I don't know, Mother. Sometimes these acting romances get out of hand. Look at Errol Flynn.
Harold, I'm sure Theodora prefers you to Stanley.
I don't know, Mother. After all, he's a lot flashier than I am. He's the Chrysler type. What am I? Just a 36 Essex with a bent bumper.
Why don't you call Theodora right now and ask the driver to rehearsal?
Well...
I'm sure she'd be delighted.
Yeah, maybe you're right, Mother. No harm in trying. Sure. Just because Theodora and Stanley are lovers in the play, that doesn't mean anything.
Hello?
Hello, Theodora. This is Harold.
Oh, hello, Angel Cake.
Yeah. Angel Cake, that's sweet. I was just wondering if I could drive you to the rehearsal at the high school tonight.
Oh, you're a darling to ask me.
Oh?
But I can't go with you.
Oh.
I'm going with Cutie Pie Peabody.
Cutie Pie Peabody?
Yes, in his little old Nile Green town and country.
Yep.
I hope you don't mind.
Mind? No, of course not. After all, what am I? Just a 36 Essex.
What?
Don't worry about me. I'll see you at the rehearsal, Miss Theodora. I've lost my Theodora. Here I am with a broken heart and a bent bumper. Quiet, everybody. Quiet. Will you please drop that hammer up on stage? Oop, a little close, too. Thank you. Now, this is the final dress rehearsal of our play, so let's get down to business, folks. First, we'll see if everybody is here. Gloria? Giggling Gloria. Pete?
Here, boy.
Doc Yancey? Firehouse 4. Indians.
Oh, Indians. Okay, fellas.
Yep.
Mammy's little baby loves shortening. Mammy's little baby loves shortening bread.
That will do. Priscilla and John Alden. Theodora and Stanley. Those are out joyriding in Stanley's town and country. Well, who cares? We'll start without them. On stage, everybody. Where's my megaphone? All right, Raymond. Overture.
Okay, cuz. Take it, men.
Sounds pretty good. That'll set the mood. Yeah, sure. Oh! Heaven's sake! Raymond! Cut that out! Stop it!
What's the matter, cuz?
For your information, Raymond, the Pilgrims did not go in for Dixieland.
Oh.
And take that derby off that cornet. You got enough funny hats in this show now.
Okay, cuz.
Now we'll take the prologue. Pilgrim Maid, Gloria.
Oh, me?
Yeah, yes, you.
Gee, I don't know if I can do this.
Come on, Minnie, ha-ha.
All right. I am just a pilgrim maid.
That's right.
Who came from across the sea.
Good.
Across the sea. Across the sea.
You've crossed the sea 3 times. Now go on, Gloria.
Oh, and when we landed on the shore, we saw the
Indians.
Indians? Okay, fellas.
What?
Mammy's little baby loves shortening.
Oh, quiet.
on the shore.
Never mind, Gloria. You'll never make it. We'll take it later. Uh-oh, Theodora and Stanley.
You say the cutest thing, Stanley Wanley.
Stanley Wanley.
Oh, hello, Ham.
Hello. I hope it wasn't too much trouble for you to attend our rehearsal, Mayor.
Why, Haroldy, Waroldy, I believe you're jealous.
Jealous? I am not. That's ridiculous. Just thinking about the show, that's all. On stage, everybody, immediately.
All right, Harold.
Come on, Theo.
Theo, eh? Certainly getting familiar.
We're ready, Hamp.
We're ready, Hamp. All right, Miss Theodora, Stanley, we'll take your scene from the very beginning.
Oh, we know the beginning. Why don't we start where we sit on the sofa?
On the sofa?
Yes. You know, the part you rewrote.
I hate him.
Priscilla, I have come to speak for my friend.
Why don't you speak for yourself, John?
Me?
John, you're so handsome.
Handsome? I've seen better-looking skeletons than him.
You're so strong, so masterful.
Ah, sneaky imitator.
John, my darling.
I can't stand this.
John, why don't you kiss me?
All right.
Cut!
Kemp, I insist on finishing this scene.
Yeah, but I have to rehearse my part, Stanley. Miles Standish.
Your part?
Yes.
All you do is stand off stage and fight Indians.
Indians? Okay, fellas.
Mammy's little baby loves short and short.
Quiet, you fools! Keep it up, fellas. I'll sing it with you.
Mammy's little baby loves short and short. Mammy's little baby loves short and bread. Good.
Show's getting off to a good start. Overture's going fine. I'll just take another peek through this hole in the curtain now. Well, a lot of people out there. Well, Captain Miles Standish, the show must go on. Well, let's finish the overture. This is it. Pull up the curtain. Gloria, where are you?
Here I am.
Go out on the stage. You're the prologue.
I feel so silly.
Stop that giggling, Gloria, and get out there.
All right.
Hope she doesn't fall in the footlights. Or do I?
I'm a little pilgrim maid. Oh, hello, Raymond.
Hello, Gloria. Gloria?
Oh, Harold.
Ye God, she's got the giggles again. Curtain! Quartet's on next. Where are those Indians? Hey, Firehouse 4.
We're right here, Harold. Oop.
Don't sneak up on me with those moccasins on. Now, don't forget, boys, you back me up on my solo first, then you do short and bread.
Okay.
Curtain. Come on, boys. Follow me. Thank you. Thank you. Glad you recognized me with this beard. I love you as I never loved before. Since first I met you on the village green. Come to me, or my dream of love is o'er. I love you as I loved you when you were sweet, when you were sweet, 16. I love you as I never loved before. I loved before. Since first I met you on the village green. The village green. Come to me, or my dream of love is o'er. the fire bell, boys. Oh, my goodness, what a time for a fire to break out. Must be a short circuit at the beauty shop again. Follow me, men. Boys, Indians. Hey, we'll break down the doors with our tomahawks. Fellas! Curtain. All right, next scene, quick. The Trapper and the Bear. Places? Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, boy.
How about you, Doc? Okay, curtain? Okay, Pete.
I am a trapper lost in the woods. I wonder where I am at. This is where I look around.
Well, brother, he's doing the stage direction, too.
Oh, my. What is that behind the tree? Take 4 steps. What was that? A bear. A bear.
Go on, Doc. Go on, Doc. Growl.
Oh, it's me. Harold, I forget what I'm supposed to say next.
Get off the stage.
Get off the stage. I can't think of a thing. Ain't I the dodo?
Get off of there before you get the bird. Ye gods, will somebody say something?
All right, Harold, I'll save the day.
What?
Jake Simpson was a coward.
Oop.
Afraid of people half his size.
Oop.
If a gun went off, he'd run a mile.
Curtain!
Fly.
Oh, brother, what a night. Thank goodness it's almost over. Now I've got to watch that courtship scene with Stanley and Theodora that I wrote. Look at her out there at the spinning wheel. Gosh, she looks pretty. How could she be so fickle?
Out of my way. Out of my way, Hemp. I've got to make my entrance.
Hello, Stanley.
Well, Captain Miles Standish, I'm going in and kiss your girl now.
Hope he gets a run in his stocking.
Oh, that must be John Alden now. Come in, John.
Coming, Priscilla.
John!
Priscilla, I must talk to you. Come, sit on the sofa.
Lounge lizard.
All righty. John, you are so handsome in your pilgrim suit.
Handsome. Looks like an ad for Quaker Oats.
You are so strong.
Here comes the kissing scene. I'll close my eyes.
So masterful.
Well, yes, I am. But I, John Alden, speak not for myself, but for my good friend Captain Miles Standish, who waits without.
You said it.
Captain Standish is more handsome, strong, and masterful than I.
He is? Then why don't you send him in?
What?
Come in, Milesy Wilesy.
What you doing? Say, that's me. Hey, coming, Priscilla.
Theodora, Priscilla.
Kiss me, Miles Standish.
You said it. Step aside, John, old boy.
Just a minute, Hemp. Miles Standish never got the girl. You don't know your Longfellow.
Well, you don't know this short fellow. Pucker up, Priscilla. You go out and fight Indians, John.
Man's little baby, let's short it.
Must have been a false alarm. Thank you. Now I'd kind of like to take off my Miles Standish whiskers and be just plain Harold Perry for a moment and introduce to you a very charming lady, the winner of our National Laugh Contest, who came all the way from station WNOX and Knoxville, Tennessee, to be officially crowned Miss Mirthquake of 1950, Mrs. Lena Duncan. That's wonderful, but Mrs. Duncan, that was kind of a puny laugh. I don't think the folks in Knoxville heard that. Oh, I bet they heard that without benefit of radios. been having a good time here in Hollywood.
I've had a wonderful time.
That's wonderful. And Mrs. Duncan, it made me very happy that you were our winner.
Thank you, Mr. Perry. It made me happy, too.
Oh? Well, I hope you're still happy because we've led our honored guest a merry chase from the moment she stepped off that TWA plane. Yes, sir. She spent a week at the Hollywood Country Club Hotel. We showed her off at MGM Studios, took her to glamorous Cyril's. She met Amos and Andy Evard and Jack Benny, was on television with our Mr. Jack Meakin, did a broadcast with George Fisher, went to Cyrano de Bergerac premiere and had breakfast with Jimmy Starr this morning, even paid the check. I'm tired just thinking about it, folks. Life in Knoxville is going to seem just a little humdrum after a week in Hollywood, isn't it?
It'll be good to get home.
It will. Your husband and son, eh? Well, I know that all the folks in Knoxville are mighty proud of you, Mrs. Duncan, and so are we. So at this time, I'd like to officially dub you Miss Mirthquake of 1950 and present you with your scepter. In behalf of our cast, Gloria Holliday, Joe Kearns, Jane Morgan, Parley Bear, Olin Soleil, Maury Alden, Eddie Firestone, Harry Stanton, and the Fireboys, our writers, Gene Stone and Jack Robinson, our director, Norman McDonald, Jack Meakin, our musical director, Dave Light on sound, Joe Swagger, our engineer, Bob Lamond, our announcer. I'd like to thank everybody connected with the promotion of the Laugh Contest. You were wonderful, and wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Good night, folks.
You have been listening to the Harold Perry Show, Honest Harold. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Good night, folks.
The Ford Show, starring Dinah Shore with Peter Lind Hayes and Robert Emmett Dolan and his orchestra, and our guest for tonight, Dennis Day. All presented by the Ford dealers and Lincoln Mercury Dealers of America. And here is Dinah Shore.
Sooner or later you're gonna be coming around. I'll betcha. I'll betcha that I get you. You wait and see. Sooner or later you'll want to be hanging around. I'll let you. I'll bet you if I let you. You, baby, me. You're gonna knock on my door. You did it before. Matter of factly, I don't know exactly when, but sooner or later you're gonna be coming around and want my loving again. Sooner or later you're gonna be coming around and want my loving again. Good evening, friends. This is Dinah Shore. Welcome to another Wednesday evening Ford Show with Bobby Dolan and his Dixieland 40. Our guest, the fabulously naive Dennis Day, and, of course, our own Peter Lind Hayes.
Hello, Dinah.
Hiya, Pete. Say, you know, since tomorrow's Thanksgiving Day, I thought we could
Holy jumping, tomorrow is Thanksgiving Day.
Forgot, did you? What's the matter, fella? No calendar?
Oh, I got one of those Esquire calendars. Yeah. Who looks at the date?
Oh, Pete, imagine forgetting Thanksgiving, especially this one. Have you stopped to think, Peter, that for a lot of people, it's the first real Thanksgiving in many years?
Mm-hmm, but I'm getting tired of jokes about Republicans. I've just got to do something about a turkey. How's the butcher situation? Do you have a long wait?
Long wait? Well, at my butcher shop, 2 of the women ahead of me were pilgrims. Which story is exaggerated a little, but not too much.
Oh, Dinah, there must be millions of people going through this last-minute Thanksgiving hassle. I bet they could use some household hints.
Hey, that's right. Ladies and gentlemen, as a public service, I now present last-second Thanksgiving hints.
Hello there! Do you know that chestnut stuffing can be made quickly with breadcrumbs? 20 breadcrumbs will stuff 1 chestnut.
Hello there. Do you know that a little cleaning fluid added to turkey gravy will prevent it from staining clothes?
And do you know what you can do with leftover pumpkin pie?
And do you know that if you do not have time for elaborate preparations, you'll find that roast turkey, mashed potato, squash, salad, dessert, and coffee make a delicious dinner.
Oh, yes. Do you know that you should save turkey feathers? They can be made into quill pens that will write under gravy.
And now for our recipe department, which tonight is devoted to that neglected group of Thanksgiving cooks, the men. So here is Pete Hayes to describe the cooking of a turkey to you men in a style that men can understand. You men.
Good evening, cooking fans. Here we are in the kitchen of an American home about to watch another great turkey feast. Our chef is poised. He looks in great shape. Our turkey is a 20-pounder with a fine lineage. He's by butcher out of kindness of heart. Our chef starts to make the stuffing, and we're off. Into the bowl go the breadcrumbs, the flour, paprika, celery, garlic, sage, marjoram, thyme, and here comes curry powder, garlic again, cinnamon, bay leaf, allspice, nutmeg, ginger, coriander, chili, soybean sauce, tobacco, and Worcestershire. Oh, followed by vinegar, horseradish, mustard, and to give it a little zest, a pinch of salt. We're at the halfway mark with stuffing going in and out of the inside, and garlic out in front by a nose. And here comes mashed potatoes and cranberry sauce, and what have we here? The chef is bringing up a plate of corn and a plate of beans. Oh, there's a spill, and we have a new entry. Succotash. Now here we go again. It's turkey in the oven, mashed potatoes and stuffed with cranberry sauce on the outside. And now it's heating up and it's still turkey, stuffing and mashed potatoes. And now we're coming toward the finish with turkey on top, stuffing, mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce. And here's the winner. Yes, folks, it's everybody's favorite. Bicarbonate of soda.
On the same subject, here's Tom Hannon with some sensible remarks. Right, Tom?
Right, Dinah. All over the country tomorrow, families are going to be piling into Ford cars to drive to Grandma's for the Thanksgiving feast. Well, if you've had a fall checkup by your Ford dealer, you'll enjoy the comfort of knowing you'll get there. And that is a comfort these days when so many cars are suffering from the infirmities of old age. Your Ford dealer has 4 can't-be-equal advantages for keeping your car running its very best. First, he has genuine Ford parts, precision-made to fit perfectly. Second, his mechanics are factory-trained. They know your Ford from A to Z. Third, they use factory-approved methods. And last, special Ford equipment. No one else can fill this prescription. No one else knows your Ford so thoroughly. It stands to reason your Ford dealer can service your Ford more expertly, quicker and cheaper, too. Visit your dealer soon for a fall checkup and to get set for the colder weather ahead. For Fords, as well as for holiday family reunions, there's no place like home.
And now you call it waiting for you constantly. You're all I'm needing, and so I'm pleading. Please come back to me. You made a plaything out of romance. What can you know of love? That's why you call it madness. But I call it
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most exciting happenings in radio this season has been the meteoric rise of a brilliant young tenor with a great flair for comedy. He's finally attained his rightful place in the entertainment world, and according to those who tune in on him 2 evenings each week, he's wonderful.
Gee, which are the 2 evenings? I'd love to hear him.
Dennis Day, I'm talking about you. Oh, it's good to see you, Dennis.
Hello, Dinah. I'd like to commence by saying that it's a great honor and a privilege to be allowed to be on the program with America's #1 radio entertainer.
Why, Dennis, how did you ever think of such a pretty speech?
Nice, huh? It's the first clause of my contract with Mr. Benny.
Dennis, do you mean Jack Benny actually made...
Dinah, please. I will not permit Mr. Benny to be reviled or insulted. I must always bear in mind that whatever I am, I owe to him.
Oh,
That's the second clause. Mr. Benny knows every kind of clause.
Except Santa Claus.
Say, that's a joke, isn't it?
Well, if you want to be charitable.
Yeah, I never knew girls tell jokes. Santa Claus.
Well, Dennis, if you don't mind, I'd just as soon go...
Girls always say very serious things to me, like drop dead.
I really started something, I guess, huh?
Hello, Dennis. Oh, good evening, Mr. Hayes, sir. How are you, sir?
Huh?
How are you this evening, sir, Mr. Hayes, sir?
Hey, who am I supposed to be, Whistler's father?
Wait a minute, Dennis. You know Pete only just got out of the Army himself.
Oh, is that so, sir? Tell me, sir, did you see any action, Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Where?
Bunker Hill.
That's a joke, too, Dennis.
Gee, another joke. Boy, it's sure a thrill to stand here swapping jokes like an adult, not like on Mr. Benny's program.
How do you mean, Dennis?
Oh, they treat me like a baby. They always spell things out so I won't get what they're saying. But I fool them.
I'll bet you did.
Yeah, I found out what GIRL was and KISS. And one of these days I'm going to find out what they mean by LSMFT.
Don't, Dennis. I don't know. I wouldn't if I were you, Dennis. Your illusions will go up in smoke.
Gee, Dinah, I wish I was hep like Mr. Hayes here. I read where he worked at the Copacabana nightclub in New York.
Oh, that was really nothing, Dennis.
Gee, a nightclub. How did you ever get your mother to let you work there?
I got her a job in the chorus.
Well, my mother has no talent.
Say, Pete... You know how strict Dennis's mother is. She won't let him sing the coffee song unless the caffeine's removed. Incidentally, what about a song, Dennis?
Oh, I'd be glad of, Dinah, since it's for you and such a fine gentleman as Mr. Hayes.
Ah, see here, you young twub. Will you kindly stop addressing me as though I were Dr. Gillespie?
Well, I'm really very sorry if it bothers you.
Well, it does, old man.
Well, okay, old man.
Now, see here, young fellas. 2 Lionel Barrymores is too much. Sing, Dennis.
I never wrote a melody before. I never penned a lyric that could rhyme. But when I looked at you, a song came stealing through. that will live wherever hearts keep time. The whole world is singing my song, but I sing it only to you. The whole world is humming along. I love you, I love you, I do. You put my dreams to music. I lent a song could start. I gave the world the music, but I gave you my heart. The whole world is singing my song, but I'll always sing it to you. You put my dreams to music. I learned a song could start. I gave the world the music, but I gave you my heart. The whole world is singing my song, but I'll always sing it to you.
Oh, Dennis, that was so lovely. You know, Pete, Dennis ought to make a wonderful romantic lead in musicals.
Yeah, but the trouble is all the big musicals aren't written for tenors. They're for baritones like Sinatra, Como, Crosby, Haynes.
Yeah. Gosh, aren't tennis people?
Sure.
Don't I pay taxes?
Yeah, but
Ain't I human? Don't I live in a trailer like everyone else?
Dennis, you know, I think I have an idea for
I
you.
can sing. I can even make girls swoon.
Now, Dennis, this might be...
One time when I sang, they had to carry a lady out of the theater and take her to the hospital.
Dennis, look, I know that's true, and I wouldn't...
And not only that, but 2 hours later, she had a baby.
Dennis, what I was going to say was, I think I have the answer to the whole thing. For your voice and personality, you need the kind of musical that Johann Strauss used to do.
Dinah, that's exactly right. I need the kind of musical that Johann Strauss used to do.
Mm-hmm.
What kind did he used to do?
Well, they were delicate, old-fashioned operettas full of waltzes and charm. Here, now look, Peter and I will join you and give you an idea of the sort of thing I mean. Let's go back, say, 100 years or so, and our scene will be the well-known mythical kingdom of Dittendorten on the Danube. In the days of the waltz, our scene, the royal court. The Prime Minister, Peter von Hayes, approaches the king. He speaks.
Greetings, Your Majesty, Dennis von Minderbrust, King of all Dittendorten, Emperor of the Earth, Guardian of the Sun, Keeper of the Stars, and Monarch of the Moon.
You always leave out Notary Public. Well, good morning there, Royal Prime Minister Peter von Hayes. You wish something perhaps to request there?
Well, you see, Your Majesty, some papers to sign there is. First, here is the daily order for executions.
Let me see there. 200 people to be beheaded. That makes 500 this week. Why so many there?
You see, Your Majesty, we have to solve the housing shortage. And as for why we are hurrying, there are only 28 chopping days until Christmas. But now, Your Majesty, to serious matters. Your Majesty, the country is in a state of turmoil. I, Von Hayes, can read the handwriting on the wall. And do you know what it says?
Von Kilroy was here?
No, trouble. The peasants are revolting, and there is only one way to put down the revolt. You must take a wife.
Take a wife where?
Your Majesty, you must marry. Then the peasants in their joy will cease revolting. And I have chosen your wife. You will marry my sister.
But she's even more revolting than the peasants.
But you must marry her, sire. Little does he know that when this marriage takes place, destroy him I shall.
Little does he know that here am I can. Now listen, Von Hayes.
Your Majesty!
Who are you?
Please don't shoot me. I'm a little peasant Mädchen, poor but beautiful.
Oh, well. What is this, a peasant with a petition? I can't understand this. With guards around the moat, guards around the drawbridge, guards at the windows. How did you get in here?
Through the door.
Oh, I knew we overlooked something.
Oh, Your Majesty, I come to plead for food for the people for.
What'll I say, Von Hayes?
Why don't you just say...
No, Von Hayes, I will not do it. I will not again say, let him eat cake. I'm always telling the people, let him eat cake. Darn it, I'm the king. Why don't I ever eat cake?
Oh, mighty King Dennis, you won't let the people starve. Your face is so kind and intelligent and wise.
Yeah, my face. I will stop starvation. I will pass a law against it.
Wonderful.
Starvation in Dittendorten is now illegal.
Bravo.
From now on, anyone caught starving will be arrested.
Oh, noble king, from now on, no longer will you be known as Dennis the Drip. You will really reign.
Oh, that's a joke. Say, I think cute you are. Why don't I marry? What's your name there?
Oh, Your Majesty. So certain this is. My name is Dinah, but my friends call me Schnapsy.
How sickening. My friends call me Strudel. Ah, Schnapsy, you are everything I ever wanted in a wife. And besides that, you're a girl, too.
Oh, come, Your Majesty. Have you gone utterly mad? You can't marry this peasant, this commoner. You are a king.
Yes, but I've always been democratic.
Sure, and these days Democrats can't afford to be too particular.
You are so right.
And now, Strudel, that I know you really love me, I have a surprise. Here, under this peasant blouse, I'm wearing a royal robe. Dennis, King of Dittendorten. I am Dinah, Queen of Dorten-Ditten.
Holy smoke, a queen. You're the queen from Dorten-Ditten down there. See, when we get married, we can join our two countries. We'll combine Dittendorten with Dorten-Ditten.
And what will be called a new country?
Let's see, Dorten-Ditten, Dittendorten. Mm-hmm. I got it.
What is it?
Azusa.
No, now, Your Majesty, I
agree with you. You think you can run a whole country just because you have bushy eyebrows?
Well spoken, Dennis. Sing to me, my love.
Right.
I never knew a girl like you. I'm such a shmoo, got no IQ. Don't feel so blue. Here's what to do. Just put your two lips to mine. Oh, and we'll pitch. Woo.
This is the sort of romance which hundreds of years later caused people to write songs like For Sentimental Reasons. I love you for sentimental reasons. I hope you do believe me. I give you my heart.
of you every night. Darling, I'm never lonely. Whenever you're inside, I love you for sentimental reasons. I hope you do believe me. I've given you my heart for sentimental reasons, believe me. I've given you my heart.
Now we take you to New York, where the noted editor and commentator, Mr. Henry Lacossette, is waiting to speak to you. Okay, New York and Henry Lacossette.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Yesterday I saw a man write on a steel plate. He wrote a letter of the alphabet and a few numbers. That's all. But in so doing, he set in motion the miracle of mass production that ended only with an automobile being driven off the assembly line. The man wrote on the steel plate with a metal stylus. The letter and the numbers were then carried by teleautograph to various parts of the assembly plant and inscribed on paper in recording machines. This told what type of car it would be, what color, and so on. Then, in response to these numbers, parts begin moving from everywhere in the plant toward the final assembly. The frame begins its journey along the 1,000-foot assembly line that carries it through the great plant. Now the axles are lowered and fitted into place. Now the motor, the steering wheel, the body, all the rest, until the 15,000 parts of the car are all in place. Finally, the car is driven from the end of the line into the rain tunnel, where an artificial downpour tests it for leaks. After that, it is ready. The thing that began with the writing on steel is now a complete automobile. I saw all this at the great assembly plant of the Ford Motor Company in Dearborn, Michigan. All over the country, at other Ford plants, the same process is going on. Day in, day out, Ford is building cars and trucks for you as fast as it can. And now, back to the Ford Show and Dinah Shore in Hollywood.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lacossette. Oh, buttermilk sky.
Oh, buttermilk sky.
Keeping my eye peeled on you. What's the good word tonight? Are you gonna be mellow tonight? Oh, buttermilk sky, can't you see my little donkey and me? We're as happy as a Christmas tree, heading for the one I love. He's gonna pop me that question. Do you, darling, do you do? It'll be easy, so easy, if I can only bank on you.
Oh, buttermilk sky.
Oh, buttermilk sky.
I'm telling you why.
Now you know, keep it in mind tonight. Keep brushing those clouds out of sight. Oh, buttermilk sky, don't you fail me when I'm needing you most. Hang a moon above the hitching post. Hitch me to the one I love.
Gonna pop her that question. Do you, darling, do you do?
It'll be easy, so easy, if I can only bank on you. Oh, buttermilk sky.
Oh, buttermilk sky.
Don't you fail me when I'm needing
Don't
you
you
most.
fail me when I need you.
Hang a moon above the hitching post. Hitch me to the one I love. You can if you try. Don't you tell me no lie. Will you be mellow and bright tonight? Buttermilk
Very much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back again next week, and our guest will be that wonderful Gene Kelly. Dennis, it was me too, girls. Dennis, it was so wonderful having you, and if I didn't get a chance to tell you, your new show is simply wonderful.
Thank you, Dinah.
Hey, see you around, Dennis.
Good night, Peter. Good night, Dinah. Good night, Mr. McNulty. Good night, Mrs. Calabash.
Why Mrs. Calabash?
I'm still mad at Mary.
Good night, folks.
So today.
Dennis Day appeared through the courtesy of the Colgate Palmolive Peat Company. And be with us again next Wednesday night when the Ford dealers and Lincoln Mercury dealers of America again bring you Dinah Shore with Peter Lynn Hayes and Robert Emmett Dolan and his orchestra. Our guest will be Gene Kelly. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.